Fire and blood, fight to the dust. No giving up, no peace for us. I found dirt under my nails, older than me.
Welcome back to Wavy Music News Podcast. I am your host, M the Myth, and today we're entering a different realm, one built of myth, music, story, and a little bit of dice rolling magic. Our guest is PiPEllA, the Wavy Awards 2023 Songwriter of the Year, a cinematic rock storyteller, and in her own words, a burnt-out bard NPC. Wandering between worlds, PiPElla's music isn't just sound, it's an experience. She crafts immersive, fantastical landscapes where heartfelt lyrics meet cinematic arrangements, inviting listeners into entire universes. Okay, recently, their world has expanded even further as they have begun fusing music with their deep love of Dungeons and Dragons. From writing a theme song for GM icon Abria Iyengar to planning a fully interactive tour designed like a campaign. And right now, she's in the middle of her most ambitious vision yet, a 3-part project called The World's Traveler, a short film, an album, and an immersive tour. She's also an outspoken advocate for asexual and autistic representation in music, a voice against AI replacing artists, and one half of the EDM duo Nepo Baby. PiPEllA, welcome to the show. Let's step into the world. And before we officially welcome you to the show, I already did, we are going to listen together to Fire and Blood, PiPElla's latest release. So gear up, listeners. And also, I didn't say this, but PiPEllA is part of our first cohort of Wavy ambassadors. So much love
So many things
in this room right now.
Fire and blood, fight to the dust. No giving up, no peace for us. I found dirt under my nails, older than me. It feels like murder to dig up history, but the past is not ending. It walks with us free. With every step, I take a breath and remember who we used to be. Old are the voices carried on the wind, and below us the buried scream out again. Fire and blood, fight the dust. No giving up, no peace for us till the job is done. Fire and blood, fight the dust. No giving up, no peace for us till kingdom come. I see clearly.
Speechless. Oh my God, PiPEllA. That was so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank
Moving
you.
and cinematic.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, y'all, you have met Isaac, who is my producer and has been since basically I started my career, and he put his foot in this one. I was like, he actually sent me over the track without lyrics on it, and I listened to it probably 47 times. And he tried to make edits to it. I was like, no, you will not change this. You do not change this. This is how it sounds. Honestly, I think so. My most recent one, Fire and Blood, is actually probably my favorite thing that I've ever released or put out there. Like, which I say about every single song I put out. Every time I put out a new song, I'm like, this is my favorite one that I've ever done. But like, there's just something hit me really hard with this one where I was like, this, I will play this song at every show that I do until the day I die.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because so for a little bit of context, I wrote this song specifically for like it's a rebellion song. It's like anti-capitalism, anti like I wrote it right around a time when I had an argument with someone about Gaza and about Palestine. And then also like, I am queer. Two of my siblings are queer. One of them is trans. There's a lot going on in the world right now that like even if it didn't affect me directly, like there is a lot that I feel like can tear you down so much. Like there's a lot of hopelessness in the world that I've seen. A lot of people that have just kind of given up. And not for any other reason other than self-preservation. So in that case, I'm like, I get it. I get it. I do not judge you for that. But this song really, I wrote it specifically because it was like, if one day when they talk about this period of time, I want to know that I wrote an anthem that says like we are going to continue fighting, we're going to keep going, very much a la we didn't start the fire a little bit,
Yeah.
but a little more gritty. It's very much it's dark. It's a dark song, but like the lyrics of it, literally like the first verse is and says, it feels like murder to dig up history. Like literally the idea of like nobody wants to talk about it. We all say history repeats itself. And then when history repeats itself, you have enough people being like, well, why are we bringing that up? That's so depressing. And it's like, yeah, the world is freaking depressing. And then it's literally the next line is like, it feels like murder to dig up history, but it walks with us free. Like history is still going. We are part of history. We're going to continue to be part of history for generations to come. So when they need this lesson of like, we have to keep fighting, we have to keep doing what we have to do, that's what this song is for. And even putting lyrics on it, I was like, he was, as artists, we melodyne, we make edits, we do little things. And I was like, don't. Like, I want it to be as raw as we can get it vocally and as raw as we can get it like musically. Like I was like, I want it to be cinematic, but I want to hear the little like crispy moments. I want to hear when it goes flat. I want to hear the emotion in it. And he did a great job. It is every time, even I hear it, I'm like, oh, yes.
Yes. And you did
Yeah.
what an incredible vocal performance as
Thank
well. And
you.
uh, your lyrics are powerful, and it really is. I understand why you will sing this at every set until the day you die, because it invokes that humanity, I think, within us, and as a
Yeah.
reminder. And it's what a healing anthem too. Like that's what it's like.
Yeah.
It is a fight song, but it's also like this healing. It's a medicine.
Yeah. That was absolutely the goal with it. I really wanted to play off of like kingdom come. I grew up Christian. And so the idea of kingdom come has always been something that like felt glorious and healing. But I was like, what if like I don't believe because I'm still spiritual. I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily a Christian anymore, but I am still spiritual. And so I don't believe that a God who loves the world would see where we're at and want to bring a kingdom here. Um, and so it very much like, what if we built our own kingdom? What if we created something that was more? And that's why like that pre or that bridge is very like, this is the kingdom that I dream of.
Are building it, and listeners, please tune in and follow wherever you stream your music. Uh, I have a few questions here and
Yeah,
talking points that we talked about, so maybe we can dive in.
absolutely.
So, beginning at the origin lore, who were you as a musician before PiPEllA became a cinematic storyteller?
Oh God, I've been so many things. That's what's so funny. Um, when I was like, I mean, I started making music when I was 5 years old. My brother is an incredible pianist, and so he used to play the piano for us all the time. And my first job that I ever wanted, like everybody's like, oh, I want to be a princess, I want to be this, I want to be that. I wanted to be a film scorer. Like that was my dream. Um, and so I think I've just always been cinematic, but my like first my first release ever was an EDM like future bass kind of emotional mix, and then I went from that into like a pop punk like kind of moody uh like very Stand Atlantic. If I was obsessed with them for a while, if you know who they are. And so I really think like I don't think any of those went away. I think I just took bits and pieces of it and realized like I have always been a believer in whimsy, in like in the idea of like escapism through music and making it as big and as intense as possible. Like I want I've always said that every song I release I want to feel like it's a part of the score of your life. Like if you need to maladaptive daydream into somewhere else, like I want it to still follow you there, but in your real life I just want to enhance those moments. And so I like who was I before PiPEllA? No one. I didn't exist. I think this has always been me. um but it's been a long time of taking bits and pieces and collaging it all together to where it is now.
Insane. I mean, it really is just your music is taking us to a larger reality. And as much as it feels like escapism sonically, like the textures and I think the chord progressions and your melodies, it also, there is this realism that you're talking about, but it's like, imagine, specifically for Fire and Blood, imagine a different world, but
Yeah.
also reflecting on um, the one that we're currently living in. So that's why I feel like it's healing music too. I love cinema, and I love that you said when you were younger, that was your dream to score.
Yeah.
Where are you? Do you still want to score films? Are you
I
are you doing that? Any of that work right now?
I like so my dream is to be, and I say this to people and they always laugh. My dream is to be Ed Sheeran. So I would love my music in every movie out there. Like so yes, it is still a part of it. Like and I am actually there's been a couple of really cool opportunities to a short an asexual short series recently like tapped me, and we've been talking about writing a song for that. And I work with a few different like sync agents right now to get my music out there. So yes, it's still definitely a huge part of the dream. But the other side of that is like I think it could be even more than that. Like you said, Abria Iyengar, a great GM. She is on shows like Critical Role and Dimension 20, and that's kind of where I'm like, I want to write the theme songs for those. Like I want to incorporate the chaos that is cinematic rock into modern cinema. Yeah, in kind of those nerdier spaces, like fantasy movies and things like that. I don't really see myself writing a song for like a rom-com or anything, but Definitely, I do see that as part of my future. Is just eventually every song I write goes into a movie. That's kind of the plan.
I mean, I feel it for you. Your
Yeah.
music does feel like it can be synced. It's so syncable. It's so like, it's like baked in and it's like who you are. It's
Yeah.
like a fabulous story, honestly. Um, when, so I mean, that was my next question. When did you realize your songs weren't just songs, that they were entire worlds? Because,
Oh God, yeah. I what's so funny is because we've talked about this, the World's Traveler it's a huge project. It's not just like one piece, it's multiple pieces, right?
and this is the project you are raising money for
Yes.
through the ambassador program, correct?
Yes, it is. This is the project that we are trying to fund. And it's actually when I started releasing music as PiPEllA. Like I was that was like when my first song, Life as a Movie, came out. Um, I had this plan for the World's Traveler. I was like, this is something that I want to do. I love the concept of like every song is its own world. And so I started kind of planning that out, and it's just grown and grown and grown and grown. So like from day one, I knew I had this concept of like PiPEllA as me, but also as like an extra character, and the character having this ability to kind of travel to other worlds and be this kind of fly on the wall telling the history of these other worlds, and influencing in little ways like butterfly effect, like never really the main character. I've never really seen myself as a main character, but as like the bard character, the one that tells the story of the main characters, that kind of writes for quote unquote history, like for history's sake. And so it's always been like that since I released Life as a Movie. Every song that I've written has pretty much gone into a different world. And I do think a huge part of that is just my experience with like, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of autistic people have a sensation of like disassociation a lot. Like we do tend to disassociate, we mask, we put on characters. And this ability to like travel to other worlds and experience them, I think is a little bit of that disassociation kind of playing into it. But I wanted to take the reins on that. It's not I'm being forced into these other worlds. It's I'm stepping into them intentionally. Um, and so yeah, with this particular project, it started out. I knew I wanted to make this album, this like concept album where it tells a full story of this portal world traveler who like discovers what it means to be responsible, what it means to be a person, what it means to be like weird in all these different ways. And then it moved from being a concept album into I already love cinema, I already love film. Why not make the film that this story goes with? And combining those things together, I planned those out. I was like, this is going to be a great thing, and then I put them down because I knew that I very much was realistic about like this would not only take up all of my time, which I'm totally fine with, but it's a little bit out of my price range. It's a little bit, the budget is a little bit not there. And so in the last year, when I started playing D&D again, I was like, Portal World Traveler, like PiPEllA, the Portal World Traveler would make such a cool D&D concept. And I reached out to some followers on TikTok and I was like, what do you think of this? Like, is this something that you would be interested in playing? And all of them said yes. They were like, this is so cool. This is such a cool concept because you can go into different worlds, play different kinds of characters. And each one is almost like its own story. Um, and so I started planning out this D&D campaign, literally like a series of one shots that people can join and play. And one of my followers, who actually became a pretty good friend, she was like, this would be so cool as like an interactive stage. This would be really cool if like not everyone gets to play, but you get to like watch it play out. And that's where the tour started coming in. And I was like, okay, well, I would love to like play the music, show the film, and play the game, and like have it all be together in one. And it grew and blew up. And then Becca tapped me and was like, hey, we have this project that we're working on, this Wavy ambassadorship. Obviously I applied for it. It was not like you should do this, but I was like, this is the time when I could actually do this huge like changing the game of touring, like doing something that nobody else has ever done before in the most nerdy, cinematic, chaotic way possible, so that it is a full experience. Every single performance is a full experience. I was like, that's what I want. And so the worlds just keep growing and growing. And I know I went fully off tangent, but I got really excited about it. But so it's every song has always been its own world. And now I'm getting the chance to actually show those worlds to people, which is crazy, crazy.
I mean, it is crazy. It is an innovative idea. It's something I've never heard of, and I need to experience. Period. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure all the listeners out there are just wanting to be a part of this, and so please go to the show notes right now and click that link. And if you have any change, a cup of coffee to your $1 billion uncle, tap them and fund this project right now. We recently switched to a new link, but you'll see that. And please, I want to put my money in your projects because I really do want to see this
Yeah.
come to life. And I believe in you, and I believe in your voice, and I believe in your vision.
Thank you.
And this is something that I think would resonate with so many people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you're creating the new kingdom, like you are. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's my goal. That's the dream. That's the goal.
So do you feel that how do you like how did this idea come to you? How do ideas for your music like
Yeah.
arrive? What's your process like? Is that something that you can talk to us about? Because this is like,
Oh.
this does seem like, wow, where the heck, what world do you live in?
Yeah.
And like, what are you dreaming about? Because this is amazing.
I mean, what's so funny? So obviously Life is a Movie came out first, but then I think that either the second or yeah, the second song I released was Robot Overlord. And
Yes.
when I released Robot Overlord, I it was not only like musically pretty different from Life as a Movie, but it was like it felt different. Like it felt like a different reality. It was playing in a different world. And so actually that's kind of where the idea came from. Was I wasn't even thinking of it from a perspective of like uh let's create this new world. It was very much like, if it was in a different world, what world would it be in? And that's kind of how I ended up writing my first probably 6 or 7 songs that I released, was more from this perspective of like, let's pretend this is in its own world. What would that look like? And I have to say, I am so lucky because I have an older sibling who is an author. And then I have a brother who's a musician as well as an author. And then, so we are a nerdy creative family. Like we are, all of us kind of have lived in not just cinema but in like books, in entertainment, in different worlds. And so I think I was just kind of set up to have this mentality of like, if this was in a movie, what movie would it be in? If that was in a movie, what movie would it be in? And then that kind of created this continuous story. And it actually, the way I write music, I think, played into this a lot. It's like, it kind of depends. I have always been someone where I get so inspired by other artists, by people around me, by life itself. I'm very much like, I dig in to my life to write, which I don't think I ever realized that that's what I was doing. I thought it was just, that's a really cool, like you said, a really cool line right there. I'm going to steal it and put it in a song. And I always ask permission, of course. I'm always like, can I write a song about that? And they're like, yeah, totally. It wasn't until I wrote Night 45, which is specifically about a couple of my friends falling in love and me just watching them fall in love, that I really realized that even the most fantastical songs are so intrinsic, and they all start from literally like that one line. Like I'll write one line and then sometimes I'll leave it and come back later. Sometimes in that moment I write it. takes me 5 minutes. Every single time, it's either inspired by someone, inspired by something that's happened in my life, big emotions, big moments, and then it just pours out. And I will say there is a disclaimer and a caveat to that. There was a lot of times when I wrote from a really dark place because that was what was needed in the moment. It was very much like writing music was my outlet, so I didn't punch a wall. And I don't know, now that I'm older, I see that and I'm like, hey, you should have gone to therapy. Like, sure, the song is great. You should have been in therapy that whole time. And maybe you wouldn't have the song, but maybe you still would. So I will say, like, anybody who kind of comes at it from that direction of like, I write songs as a way to get my big emotions out, that's incredible. You also should still be seeking help, by the way. Like, it's okay to go to therapy. It's all right. But that has shifted in recent years, where it's gotten more like, I've gotten more collaborative, started writing more with other people. It's gotten more thoughtful. It's gotten more meticulous, where I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down and write. And it's still being pulled from those inspirations, from those people, from those one lines. It's being finished and continued writing, but it's not so volatile.
I really appreciate that, just like diverse kind of sort of way of approaching creation, and totally agree about the mental health support systems you need to have in place as an artist.
100%.
Yes, we're expressing ourselves, we're releasing a lot of big feelings, and that's not all the time, but there needs to be more structure, because oftentimes we can't hold ourselves accountable for our own processing, and we shouldn't have to. We need community.
100%.
So sort of like, I feel like this could be a 10-hour podcast right now.
I literally was thinking that.
So there are a few things I'm interested in that I know you mentioned about AI.
Yeah.
And, that
I'm so anti-AI.
Tell us why the arts need human messiness and lived experience.
I like idea that art, music, and I keep talking about history, like not just music, but film, art, spoken word, all of it. Like, it's meant to be the soul of culture. It's meant to be our history. It's what our children's children's children will use to understand us. And if we give that over to AI, if we let AI build those things, that soul will very quickly deteriorate. Like, I've seen too many times, like, I'll be on TikTok, I'll be scrolling through TikTok, and people will start using this like different AI songs. And at first you're not really thinking about it. At first you're kind of like, oh, that's catchy. But then the more you listen to it, the more you're like, this is empty. This has nothing. This means nothing. Like, even the ones that are super fun, you're like, yeah, this is great. But you don't, like I said with Fire and Blood, I love to hear the little crackles. I love to hear those little mess up moments, because they can make it even deeper, even richer. You don't have that with AI. You don't have that. Like, you have absolute perfection to the point of being boring. Like, when someone is too pretty, we're kind of like, that's great, but it's kind of boring. Like, we're going to get more and more complacent, get more and more boring, until culture just becomes ones and zeros. And I have such a huge problem with that. If you take humanity out of art, art no longer is art. It's just copy and paste. It's just remake. And that is not to say that there isn't like a place for technology in art. Absolutely there is. There has always been. As technology grows, art gets translated and retranslated through it, like with graphic design, with like, I mean, we've talked about movies this whole time. Like, that has grown and changed, and we see that. AI does not need to be a part of that. It's literally artificial intelligence. It doesn't come from us. It is not part of our soul. It's not part of the soul of culture. And pisses me off. Also, it's killing our planet. First of all, like, if nothing else, are you kidding me? Like, people don't have drinking water because of AI. Like, why are you so set on life being so easy that you can't see that you're killing other people? Like, just because you can make a grocery list on Chat GPT doesn't mean that you can't also pull out a piece of paper, look up a recipe and be like, hey, what do I need for this? Like, just it's killing our innovation, it's killing our creativity, it's killing our imagination. And it looks stupid. I literally saw a Coca-Cola commercial today. I literally saw it the other day and I was like, that's so clearly AI, so clearly AI. And I was like, it looks dumb. Like, it looks bad. Even the ones where it looks like natural, it looks real, because obviously AI is growing because people keep putting shit into it. It's still so obvious. It's like someone who's dead behind the eyes. Sorry, that is a full. I could rant about this for days, but
that's
I'm gonna leave
podcast too, and
yeah,
I wasn't like, but it's just so your perspective and your take is just so important. I think that's why you're the artist that you are, and what you create, and it's clearly driven by a massive reservoir of, call it spiritual, universal, cosmic messaging. Like, you're a channel for that, I believe. And it's like a heavy reminder that just because something can make it easier means one must still maintain this authentic value system, which is, what are the consequences of taking the easy path? Right. Of
the ethics, the moral.
As we do that, the more we go with it, what do we lose in that process?
Exactly.
Our soul. I think that's
our soul.
Right.
Our soul.
So, okay, let's switch tracks to the EDM duo Nepo Baby. Can you tell us the origin of that? How is that world different than PiPEllA, and what's going on there?
It is almost the polar opposite of PiPEllA, which is very interesting. Where PiPEllA is a very, like, obviously we've talked about this, it's very whimsy, which I wouldn't say Nepo Baby is not whimsy. I would just say it's a different kind of whimsy. PiPEllA in my mind is very natural. It's like, it's orchestral, it's natural, it's got a lot of like ins and outs to it that feel like growing vines, right? Like, that's always been my goal. Very like wood elf. Nepo Baby is full on like prog house, like future bass, a little bit of melodic bass. Like, it's very synth and ambiance in like real life, where PiPEllA is all about kind of other worlds and kind of that escapism. This is escapism with your feet on the ground. So Nepo Baby, actually, the origin of it, the start of it, comes from two different places. So not last year, I performed at the Wavies, right? Last year, 2 years ago? I don't know. It's been a long time. But that show, like, as I was doing it, and then afterwards, I was kind of like, this was fun. It was great. It didn't really feel like PiPEllA. And I was like, what happened there? Right? I was like, for me, really, it came from a place of like wanting to do everything and wanting to be everything and do this really big show in 5 minutes. And I was like, maybe like channel yourself a little bit more. But the concept behind it was so fun, and the music was so fun and big, but very electronic. And I was like, okay. And so I started from there, kind of being like, okay, well, I liked this. It doesn't really work for PiPEllA, but I like it. I like the concept. I like what's happening here. And then Isaac, love Isaac, could not do this without him. Isaac, well, could not do PiPEllA without him. Could not be making music without him. Isaac came to me with a track that he had just been kind of playing around with, and he gave it to me, and it was very much not in line with PiPEllA. I was like, this doesn't work. And so I put it off to the side, and I was kind of like, this is cool. I might write something for it. Probably not now. And then I got the opportunity to start writing for the K-pop industry. And so I was already kind of writing for it a little bit, but then I got signed as specifically a writer. I was writing for the K-pop industry, and I was like, oh, well, this actually works for this. And so I started writing, it's called Butterfly. I started writing Butterfly. And then I ended up leaving the K-pop industry for a plethora of reasons and going back to being an independent artist, and I still had Butterfly. And I was like, I still love this. I love the song. I love the concept. And I was writing more and more in line with this kind of idea. And I was like, what am I going to do with this? Like, I don't really want to give these away because I like them too much. Like, you know, when you're just kind of like, no, I think this one's for me. Like, that one's for you. This one's for me. And so I had like 4 or 5 songs that I was like, this doesn't work for PiPEllA. I don't know what to do with it though. And I made a TikTok offhand, like just randomly, where I was like, I would love an artist that is a Nepo baby, a poor Nepo baby. Like the idea of like someone who wears like fake Chanel and fake Gucci and like looks a little bit trashy, but still calls themselves Nepo baby and is very like, Nepo baby is a state of mind. And that TikTok blew up. People were like, oh my God, yes, what is this? And I was like, oh, people love this. And so I was like, I started coming up with ideas. I made a Pinterest board for it. It's like, this would be so cool. And I'm in love. I'm obsessed with Sophie Tucker, the duo. And I was like, this would be so cool as a duo. So it's not just one person on stage, like it's a DJ and a singer. Like this could be so cool. And before even like, I think that TikTok went up 24 hours later, I was making a TikTok, an Instagram, and a website for Nepo Baby. And I was like, this is a thing now. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited for it. And from there, like I was like, oh, all these songs can go in there. It can be this like EDM kind of like, because I am a raver at heart. I love a rave, but I have never made music for a rave. And I was like, no, this could be my rave persona. This could be something huge and very much like mainstream, where PiPEllA, like we said, is very sync. It's a little bit not mainstream, but I was like, this could be maybe not mainstream in like pop, but mainstream in like this could get plays. Like this could be something huge. This could be festival circuit. And it's still in its baby stages. Like I haven't released anything yet. I'm still kind of building the concept around it. And I'm still looking for the perfect DJ. That's really like, it is a duo in name right now. Right now it's just me, but I'm like, this would be, and I've talked to a few different people. I'm really trying to, I'm trying to see where it clicks. Cause I feel like as soon as I feel that click, I'm like, let's go. Like we're ready, we're running. But yeah, it's all based on Nepo baby being the state of mind, and the idea of like my children will be Nepo babies, and the idea of like giving forward and giving luxury, and all of it just being confidence focused. Like I made a bag the other day that just says luxury on it. It's a tote bag that just says luxury, and I'm like, that's the concept. It's Temu, it's Shein, it's we are poor and fast fashion is all we can do, but we're gonna make it look hot, and thus Nepo baby has been is in its baby stage. It's on its baby legs, and I already have people like screaming for it, like so excited, and I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna have to get this up and running fast. So
Screaming, I am obsessed. Totally makes sense why the world, and it blew up on TikTok, and we want more. We want to see this. You have so many projects in your mind. Your brain is so expansive, so imaginative, and endlessly creative. Everyone, if you are listening right now, please get your checkbooks out and fund this incredibly expansive, divine artist here. We need more of. We need more. Period. We need Nepo Baby. We need all the projects, and I can't wait. Even beyond, I'm sure you probably have some ideas about beyond the beyond of now.
God, yeah.
And it's been such a pleasure to speak with you today. Is there anything you want to leave our listeners and your future fans while they listen and they're streaming to your music? What sort of feeling do you wish for your audience to experience through entering your universe?
I just want you to take it and make it yours. It might come from me, but like I said, I'm not the main character here. You are. Every single one of you is the main character, and this music is for you. Whether it's Nepo Baby, whether it's PiPEllA, whether it's some side project of mine that you dig up on SoundCloud, like I made it for you with the intention of you using it to create the soundtrack of your life. And my fans are called travelers. PiPElla's fans are called travelers, and there's a reason for that, because we are meant to go out into the world and do something great, even if that's like traveling from your home to the voting booth or over to your public libraries or over to support your small businesses or over to the PayPal to help fund the project, whatever you may need. But we are travelers. We are meant to go out and live loudly and live wavy.
Period. That was PiPEllA, everyone. Proof that music can be a story, a myth, a multiverse, and meaning all at once. Thank you so much for bringing us into your worlds, for sharing representation and showing us your expansive projects and what artists can do when they refuse to shrink. Everyone go listen to PiPEllA, support the world's traveler, and step into this incredible universe that she's building. We are honored to have her as a part of the Wavy's family. Until the next episode, until then, keep traveling.